That's what I want to know. Where the fuck that bug come from, what it's called, and how to fucking kill it. And it's like every other shit in this planet for black people who are full of so much shit. It's thoroughly outrageous. How do you deal with the shitty side of people's shit? Come on.
What's going on?
People know they push you to a point where the message is just clear. Get the fuck out and get the fuck away from me. Yet family members who see and know love, yet when we show that kind of love where we don't put a motherfucker out or get the fuck, because putting them out, the only thing about that, it ain't about them, it's about protecting the self. So we attempt to protect ourselves. And, we understand that what I do has an effect on somebody else. What I do for me, kind of like, well, what I drink will get you fucking drunk. Because that's the other analogy people say. Oh, what I drink won't get you drunk. It's like, well, if you view it from another way, put it in a different frame and context, so to speak. What choices you make does have an impact on me, and it could be either helpful or fucking hurtful. And shit, it's a fucking alcoholic family member, when they drink, you get drunk with fucking rage based on the fucking behaviors that come along with that shit. And everybody have behaviors that is reflective of their shit. The stress of the human and intentional type that they experienced. And it does produce some pretty shitty behaviors. Shitty in the sense that it stinks, it's nasty, it's ugh. Like I have said before, I do speak within a scatological framework of sharing information, my story, working to make fucking sense out of shit. I'm working to make sense out of what the fuck is wrong with me, that, or, I continue to allow somebody's shit and shitty behaviors that I tolerated. How long are we supposed to, do we or don't we, tolerate and be with your family members' shitty fucking behaviors? It's why relationships end up breaking up, because one person or people, somebody gets to the point where get the fuck out or I'm leaving. Either you go or I'm leaving, and the relationship sort of breaks up. That usually happens in all family type relationships. And I certainly understand why, because I'm clearly at the point with someone where I'm at the point where please just get the fuck out, go. Yet, because here's the other thing, we good for saying, quote unquote, leave me alone. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Yet when we think about being alone, that's not a place that anybody really ever wants to be. For real, for real. Yet we will say it in a minute. Leave me alone. Yet we don't want to be alone. And because we don't want to be alone, we tend to tolerate, make excuses for, this is when the excuse is probably an appropriate negative use, make excuses for and tolerate and put up with other people's shit. Especially when these shitty behaviors is knocking the shit out of you every which kind of fucking way. Again, goes back to that desire and need to protect your fucking self from being hurt, because, you know, shit hurts like a motherfucker. It hurt like hell for me to walk in my house. Motherfucker used to think all motherfucking day. I mean, absolutely not one thing different. Not one goddamn thing. You know, and the person, it's like, you know, you can say shit, you talk to family, they come with very good excuses, and that's when, you know, people say, oh, that kind of excuse. Where their reasoning is their reasoning, their reasoning is their reasoning, and it's their excuse, and that's fine. Yet, most often than not, I find that reasoning and excuse that they give as being pretty sort of weak, if you will, in validity and strength and objectivity. It just really does not. It's like it's some, you know, bullshit. And then the other thing for me is like, you know, I just look at, okay, so I've heard that shit and it's been goddamn 5 years now. How motherfucking long am I supposed to wait? You know, and accept, you know, the reason, the excuse that a person has. How long do we sort of accept that? Because that plays a part in, you know, a person's feeling and the anger. And it's the anger because it's like an act of injustice. It's like, this is just some unjust fucking shit. You know, if you're a family, if you're part of a family and you're working together with some shared goals, and, you know, you work together. It's not one person pulling 80-90% of the responsibility for maintaining the home that the two of you, quote unquote, share. You know, it's like shit like that. And it's like, well, why have I? It's like, oh, because, yeah, I don't really want to be alone yet. And at the same time, at this point in this stage, we're really at the point where, fuck it, I could do that shit by myself. And that's the thing people will say, you know, don't be afraid to be on your own. Don't be afraid to be on your own. And I think for us, as, you know, folks of African descent, dealing with the shit we have gotten from the door in this fucking society, we most definitely have a difficult time sort of being, quote unquote, alone. We don't like to leave each other, and I think it's a level, a cultural, spiritual level in there somewhere. You know, because there's always this mandate that we hold and put out, how we're always supposed to be there for family. Yeah, that gets a problem, because when family have not dealt with their shit, cleaned up their shit, worked to heal their shit in themselves, they hurt the fuck out of you. And at some point, you know, my objective, and I've learned how to fucking protect myself, and that I have a right to protect myself and take care of myself. And if that means that that's going to be hurtful for you, then that's you know, the other part of it. When you come with love, it's hard to do something that you know consciously is going to hurt the person. And then the person, when they see and know that and take advantage of it, that's when it's really like, oh my God, the deepness of the pain of that. The realization, it's like, this motherfucker sitting up here and see this shit and hear this shit and continue to just rub it all in your motherfucking face. That's what leads families and shit and couples into fights of violence and arguing, and, you know, people do a lot of shit to sort of tolerate and manage the feelings, the hurt, the anger, the confusion, you know, with behaviors that, well, because they suppress the feelings, you never really get to actively address them, deal with them, and work to change them, so to speak, you know?